Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Life English Podcast from Speak English Daily. I'm Emma, your host, and I'm so excited you're here with me today. Welcome to our community of English learners who are serious about mastering real-world English skills. Today's episode is going to be different and potentially life-changing. Today, we're covering life-saving English, the medical conversations that could literally save your life or save you thousands of dollars the next time you need medical care. This isn't the medical English you learned in textbooks. This is the English that works when your health is on the line. Let me start with a story that happened just last month. Maria, one of our listeners from Japan, sent me a message that broke my heart. She wrote, "Emma, I went to the hospital with terrible stomach pain. I knew basic English words like stomach and hurt. But when the nurse asked me questions, I could only point and say, here, very pain. The nurse didn't understand how serious it was. I waited in agony for 4 hours and got a $500 bill. Later, my American friend told me I should have said, I have severe pain, 9 out of 10. Those magic words would have gotten me help in 10 minutes, not 4 hours. Maria's experience shook me because I realized something. We've been teaching you English for everyday conversations, but we forgot about the moments when English isn't just helpful, it's critical. When your health is on the line, the right English phrase can be the difference between getting immediate care or suffering needlessly. That's why today's episode exists. After Maria's message, I spent weeks researching real medical conversations, talking to doctors and nurses, and discovering the exact phrases that get results in medical emergencies. What I found surprised me. It's not about knowing complex medical vocabulary. It's about knowing the simple, powerful phrases that make healthcare professionals understand exactly what you need. Here's what makes today special. We're not just learning phrases. We're practicing real situations that happen to English learners every single day. Emergency room visits, late-night calls about sick children, and doctor appointments where you need to advocate for better treatment. But here's the key to mastering these conversations. You can't just listen passively. I want you to become the characters in these stories. When Mark and I demonstrate a conversation between a patient and a nurse, choose a role. Are you the worried patient, the caring nurse, the concerned parent? Then, as we speak, put yourself completely in that situation. Feel the worry, the pain, the relief. Speak along with your character as if you're really there. This isn't about memorizing words. It's about living these moments so that when they happen in real life, you'll respond naturally and confidently. Mark is here with me today to help bring these crucial conversations to life. Together, we're going to prepare you for the medical situations that truly matter. So, let's begin this journey. By the end of today's episode, you'll have the confidence and the exact words you need to handle any medical emergency in English. Story 1. When every second counts in the emergency room. Let me paint you a picture. It's 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night. You're hit with sudden, excruciating stomach pain that feels like nothing you've ever experienced. You're scared. You're in agony. And you're about to walk into an emergency room where every word you say will determine how quickly you get help. This is exactly what happened to James, another one of our listeners. James knew the magic phrases we're about to learn, and instead of waiting hours like Maria did, he was seeing a doctor within 15 minutes. Here's the conversation that made all the difference.
Good evening. What brings you to the emergency room tonight?
Good evening. I have severe abdominal pain that started suddenly about 2 hours ago. It's the worst pain I've ever experienced. I can barely stand up straight.
Can you describe exactly where the pain is located?
It started around my belly button, but now it's moved to my lower right side. When I press here and release quickly, the pain shoots through my entire abdomen. It's unbearable.
On a pain scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this?
This is definitely a 9 out of 10. I've never felt anything like this. I've also vomited twice, and I'm feeling feverish and shaky.
Based on your symptoms, the pain migration, the severity, and the associated nausea and fever, this could be appendicitis. I need to get you seen by the doctor immediately.
Appendicitis? How serious is this? I'm really frightened.
I understand your fear, but appendicitis is very treatable when caught early. The doctor will examine you and likely order some tests. You're going to be okay.
Now, as you listened to this conversation, I hope you put yourself in James's shoes. Feel that pain, that fear, that desperate need to communicate clearly when everything is on the line. Because that emotional connection is what makes these phrases stick in your memory. The phrases that got James' immediate attention weren't complex medical terms. They were simple, clear descriptions. Severe pain. Worst pain I've ever experienced. 9 out of 10. I vomited twice. These everyday English words, used with precision and emotion, communicated everything the medical team needed to know. Story 2. The late night phone call that saves money and worry. Our second story takes us to a different kind of medical crisis, one that happens in homes across the world every night. Your child develops a high fever, and you're faced with a decision. Rush to the expensive emergency room or try to manage at home until morning? This is where Lisa, a mother from our community, found herself last month. Her 6-year-old son developed a 102-degree fever on a Sunday night, and she was terrified. But instead of panicking, she remembered that her insurance company offers a 24/7 medical advice line, a resource many people don't even know exists. That one phone call saved her $450 and gave her the confidence to care for her child at home safely. Here's how that conversation unfolded.
Good evening. Medline Healthcare. This is Nurse Rodriguez. How can I help you?
Good evening. I'm calling about my 6-year-old son. He has a fever of 102 degrees, and I'm not sure if I should take him to the emergency room tonight or wait to see our pediatrician in the morning.
I understand your concern. Let's go through some important questions. Is your son alert and responsive right now?
Yes, he's tired, but he's talking to me normally. He's drinking water, and he recognizes me. He's not as playful as usual, but he's definitely responsive.
That's reassuring. Is he experiencing any vomiting, difficulty breathing, or severe headache?
No vomiting or breathing problems. He says his head hurts, but when I ask him to rate it, he says it's about a 6 out of 10. He can also touch his chin to his chest without pain.
Those are good signs. Has he been exposed to any illnesses recently?
Actually, yes. There's been a flu outbreak at his school this week. Several children in his class have been absent.
Given his symptoms and the flu going around at school, this sounds like a viral illness rather than a medical emergency. You can safely manage this at home tonight.
So I don't need to rush to the hospital? What should I do for his fever?
Correct. Give him children's acetaminophen or ibuprofen following the package directions. Encourage plenty of fluids and dress him lightly. Call your pediatrician first thing tomorrow morning.
What warning signs should I watch for that would mean I need to take him to the emergency room?
Bring him in immediately. If his fever rises above 104 degrees, if he becomes difficult to wake up, has trouble breathing, or if your parental instincts tell you something is seriously wrong.
Can you feel Lisa's relief in that moment? The transformation from panic to confidence, knowing she could safely care for her child at home? That phone call didn't just save her money. It gave her peace of mind and taught her valuable skills for future situations. Story 3. The doctor visit that finally gets results. Our final story brings us full circle to a situation many of you have experienced: chronic pain that isn't being taken seriously. You've tried explaining your symptoms, but somehow your doctor doesn't seem to understand the severity of what you're experiencing. This was Anna's reality. For months, she'd been suffering from debilitating back pain, but her previous doctor visits hadn't led to effective treatment. She realized she needed to communicate differently, more clearly, more effectively. Here's the conversation that finally got her the help she needed.
Good morning, Anna. I see from your chart that you're here about ongoing back pain. Tell me, what's been happening?
Good morning, doctor. I've been dealing with severe lower back pain for 3 months now. It's significantly impacting my daily life. I can't work effectively. I can't sleep through the night, and simple activities like sitting or driving have become extremely difficult.
Help me understand the nature of this pain. How would you describe it?
The pain is constant, usually about a 7 out of 10, but it spikes to 9 when I sit for more than 20 minutes. It radiates down my right leg, and sometimes I experience numbness in my foot. The pain is sharp and shooting, not dull or achy.
What treatments have you tried so far?
I completed 6 weeks of physical therapy with minimal improvement. I've been taking 800 milligrams ibuprofen 3 times daily, which barely takes the edge off. Heat helps temporarily, but nothing provides lasting relief.
This level of persistent pain with neurological symptoms like leg numbness suggests we need to investigate further. I think you need an MRI to see what's causing these symptoms.
I'm relieved you're taking this seriously. My previous doctor said it would get better with time, but it's only gotten worse. Will my insurance cover the MRI?
I'll write a detailed letter to your insurance company explaining the medical necessity, your symptoms, chronic pain, affecting function, failed conservative treatments, and neurological involvement clearly justify this imaging study.
What happens after the MRI?
Once we see what's causing your pain, we can develop an appropriate treatment plan. This might include targeted injections, different medications, or referral to a specialist. The important thing is that we're going to get you the relief you need.
Anna's success came from learning how to be her own advocate. She didn't just say, "My back hurts." She painted a complete picture of how the pain was affecting her life, described her symptoms precisely, and demonstrated that she'd tried reasonable treatments without success. Throughout these 3 stories, you've heard the power of specific English phrases that get results in medical situations. Let me highlight the most important ones. For emergency situations, the phrases that get immediate attention are severe pain, worst pain I've ever experienced, 9 out of 10 out of on the pain scale, and I'm really concerned about. These phrases communicate urgency without being dramatic. When calling medical advice lines, the phrases that get helpful guidance are, "I'm not sure if this requires emergency care." "What warning signs should I watch for?" And "when should I be concerned?" These show you're being thoughtful, not panicking. For regular doctor visits, where you need to advocate for yourself, use phrases like, "This is significantly impacting my daily life," or "I've tried specific treatments without success," and "I'm concerned this might be something more serious." These demonstrate that you're informed and your symptoms are genuine. But remember, it's not just about the words themselves, it's about the confidence and clarity with which you deliver them. When you speak with genuine emotion and clear purpose, healthcare providers listen more attentively and respond more effectively. Before we say goodbye, here's how to take your medical English to the next level. Today, you learned the conversations and situations, but to build real fluency, you need to practice the essential phrases until they become automatic. That's why I've created a companion shadowing video with 100 crucial medical English phrases that every English learner needs to master. These are the building blocks that make conversations like today's feel natural and effortless. You'll find the link to this intensive shadowing practice in the first pinned comment below this video. I highly recommend doing that shadowing workout right after this podcast. It's the perfect way to cement everything you've learned today. The combination is powerful. Today's podcast gives you the real-life context and confidence, while the shadowing video builds your muscle memory for instant recall when you're in actual medical situations. Thank you for joining me today on Speak English Daily Podcast. If today's episode helped you feel more confident about medical situations in English, please share it with someone who needs these skills. Your English learning journey helps others too. Remember Maria's $500 lesson, James's successful emergency room visit, Lisa's money-saving phone call, and Anna's breakthrough with her doctor. These stories prove that the right English skills can literally change your life. Don't forget to check out that shadowing video in the pinned comment. It's your secret weapon for turning today's lessons into permanent skills. Keep practicing, keep growing, and most importantly, take good care of your health. When you need medical care, use these tools with confidence. Your English is more powerful than you realize. This has been Emma from Speak English Daily. Until next time, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep taking care of yourself and the people you love. Take care, everyone.